Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's special event. Thank you so much for joining us here. I got a lot of people on, but before we get started, I want to do a quick sound and video check. I want to make sure you can hear my voice loud and clear and can see the presentation right in front of you. You should see a sign for the Phoenix, and this is all about using the power of options to maximize ROI. So if you can go ahead and write in with a Y or a yes. I know there's a bunch of people still coming on right now, but as long as you guys can tell me that you can see and hear, all else would be good to go. Okay, so it looks like we got a bunch of AOKs, yes, 5x5, sounds good. And we have somebody actually that's all the way over from the Philippine Islands, which is awesome. Thanks for being here bright and early at the start of your day. All right, so without further ado, everybody, then I'm going to introduce the man of the hour, Adam Mesh, and he's got a great presentation ahead. So stand by, and we'll be starting in just a moment.
What's up, everyone, and nice to be speaking with you so much. Thanks to the entire TradeThirsty team for putting this together and giving me the opportunity to meet people who love what I love, which is trading. And if you're here on this webinar, you certainly have a love of the game, and that's what I have. And I got a great presentation for you, and it makes sense because think about it. If you're given an opportunity to present it in front of someone else's audience, you want to bring your A game, right? So I'm bringing you the thing that I think will teach you the most and, more importantly, help you profit the most. So I'm really excited about it. This is the Phoenix. It uses the power of options to maximize return on investment. And don't worry, if you've never made a single option trade before, I'm the guy that takes you by the hand and shows you how to do it both simply and easily. Quick U.S. government required disclaimer that stocks and option trading is not appropriate for everyone. There's a substantial risk of loss associated with trading these markets. Losses can and will occur. Nobody can ever guarantee profits or ensure freedom from losses. I'm certainly not here to do that. I'm here to show you how to manage your money the right way and have low risk, high return opportunities. Here's the agenda for today. I'm going to take you through the original Phoenix letter. The 10-year bull market, the Phoenix rising again. I got a nice surprise for you. We're going to talk about emerging opportunities and then also Q&A. That's what I'm known for. Any question that's asked will be answered. As I'm meeting some of you, maybe many of you for the first time, curious about that, let me just introduce myself really quickly. My name is Adam Mesh. I spent over 20 plus years as an electronic trader, and it actually goes a little bit out of order. So I was trading my own money, and Nelson Schwartz from Fortune Magazine came to our firm, and he said, who should I watch trade? And they said, go stand behind Adam Mesh. And as you see in the article that went viral, he said, in a few minutes, I stand behind his desk. He made 20,000, Mesh trades nearly 10,000 shares. In a few minutes, I stand behind his desk, making 20,000 in the process. So I got this amazing article written about me that went viral. And a year later, he did a follow-up. And a year after that, he did a follow-up. And that led to some amazing opportunities, like being on The Tonight Show and Consumer Digest and all these things. And it was really an evolution. I had this built-in credibility, so people were asking for help. So I started writing a newsletter, and it grew quickly. And after the newsletter came education. And after the education, and this is usually the order that it goes in for everyone, people wanted trade ideas. So I launched my first newsletter. I was in business for 3 years before I launched my first newsletter, and I launched my first newsletter in the beginning of 2009, right after the 2008 stock market crash. Now, some people might say, wow, you're so lucky you started a newsletter right after the market crash, and the only thing I have to prove to you that it wasn't luck, why I started that subscription when I did, was the name of the service. It was called the Phoenix letter, and the Phoenix is that mythical creature that rises from the ashes. And I started this newsletter then because I believed that the market would rise up out of the ashes, that it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for traders. And so I launched this newsletter at the beginning of 2009. Now, in the original Phoenix and the one now, one of the biggest things was different. In the original one, we traded stocks. In this one, we traded options. Now, you could always do either or, but I cater to options now, and I'm going to explain why. But the most important thing for you to know as I take you through this presentation is that regardless of whether you're choosing stocks or options, it's the selection of the trade that is most critical, and that formula has never changed. And I'm going to show you what that formula is today. So what I do is I'm going to take you through the success real quick of the original newsletter. Then I'm going to take you into the formula that led to that success so you understand where you're going, but also how you're getting there. Okay? Great. So in the original newsletter, I remember my first trade. It was in PNC Bank. And you have to remember, everything was beaten up at this time. And our first alert for this newsletter came out in March 2009. PNC was at $16.51. And, you know, we stopped keeping track when it got to $129 and was up 800%. No, I did not hold it the whole way. But it was an amazing first trade to introduce. Wells Fargo, when we put it on, I'll never forget the thought in my head. It was, well, it's at $8.61. The worst that could happen is it goes to zero, and that's not that far away. Despite all of their troubles, Wells Fargo managed to have a really nice ride going up 675%. And again, just so people see, it says 2017. This is present day, 2019, December. I just stopped keeping track after that. It was almost painful to see because I didn't hold them the whole way. That was another amazing opportunity. We introduced BlackRock at 130, which went to 594. But this also started to represent one of the issues, which was that's an expensive stock to trade. JP Morgan, when the London Whale came out and everyone was railing against the mistakes, I love JP Morgan at 35. It tripled in value. CRM, one of the hottest companies there is, Salesforce.com, I introduced to my audience at $25. It went to $162. Starbucks at $10. Oh, man, now it's in the 80s. Walt Disney was in the 20s. When I started that newsletter, it went to 100. Boeing was a $50 stock, went to 350. And as you see, the market just kept going up to the point where it seemed like it was a little bit out of control. And despite having thousands of subscribers and an amazingly successful newsletter, I honestly believed I should move on to different things because the market had gone up so much. Stocks were getting really expensive, and a lot of people couldn't get involved because it was just too much money. So the Phoenix went dormant. I shut it down. I shut down a successful newsletter literally just because I didn't think it made sense anymore. And then I was on vacation in Florida in December 2018. So it was like a little less than a year ago because it was the beginning of December. And all of a sudden you started seeing the market really go down. Do you remember that? It seems like so long ago now, but it was really still less than a year ago where we saw a day where the Dow was down 600 points and we saw some really significant falls very quickly. The market always goes down faster than it goes up, if that makes sense. So NVIDIA went from the 260s down to 133. Facebook went from 200 down to 135. Can you believe that? It was at 135. IBM went from 180 to 105. Square went from the 80s to the 50s. Apple, this year, Apple was at 142. Can you believe that? It's now at 260. And I saw opportunities. And the biggest thing you know is when you're getting asked to appear, I always say when the news moves from CNBC to NBC, from Fox Business to Fox, that's how we know the market's very much in play. And I was getting asked to appear all over. This was me. I was pretty cool because I always use Yahoo Finance. I was speaking live on Yahoo Finance, covering the markets. And I said, you know what? I think it makes sense to bring back the Phoenix because this is the perfect kind of opportunity to scoop up these trades. But I said, what can we do so that we take advantage of it, but we don't run out of steam once the market goes up? And that's where we decided to make the change from stocks to options. And really, whether you trade them or not, everyone should be, the individual trader should always use options. We had a trade today, someone put on in Shopify. They bought it this morning for $5, and 10 minutes later it was worth $10. Now, if you want to buy Shopify, the stock at $355, 1,000 shares, you would have needed $355,000. But to buy 10 contracts of the $355 call cost us $5,000, and 10 minutes later it was worth $10,000. Okay? So I'm a big believer in options, and I also was a big believer in the Phoenix rising again. I said I wouldn't do this presentation unless we actually had a Phoenix rising again. Let me take you through the formula, because this is what I said hasn't changed. While we switched from stocks to options, the one thing that remains constant is what goes into the Phoenix letter and why it's so successful. And there's three things: the market mercenaries, options, individual stock selection, which includes market, momentum, and reward. All right? So the mercenaries, really, that's the team of people. Okay? That's the team of people I assemble to do this with me because it's such a big responsibility to provide trade ideas to a large audience. I don't want it to be just on me. I want to have multiple pairs of eyes on the prize. So I work with a whole team that collaborates every day of the week on the market. And I think what speaks a lot about who we are and what we do, all of these people have been with me for a long time. Christian's been with me the longest, since 2006. So we've worked together. It's going to be 14 years soon. He's this charter market technician. It's the highest level of technical trading there is. He's actually the one that called out that Shopify trade, an amazing market reader, and someone who gives me a breakdown of the overall market every day. As an example, yesterday, when the Dow was down 400, instead of bringing on experts to talk about why we're going down, we just said we've seen this before. It's always short-lived. Don't overreact. Don't buy too much into the fact that the market's going down. And, of course, today we were up 200 points. So it's amazing to have a charter market technician helping you read the tape every day. Steve Smith, huge fan of Steve Smith. I've been working with him for 8 years now. He has 25 years investment experience. He's an expert level options knowledge. He worked with James Cramer at the Street. He worked with Minionville, and he was a consultant to utilize option strategies to reduce risk and enhance returns for a $2 billion+ hedge fund. So he's someone who knows how to defend trades too, which is really important. Michael Honig, I call him the option doc, 25 years investment experience. He hosts our Options Academy, which comes free, by the way, with any service we offer, so that it teaches you options if you need extra help. Really calm voice, great teacher, known as the trading psychologist around here. So let me just quickly, for anyone who doesn't trade options or who's new to options, and if you already trade them, it will take 1 minute. I'm just going to reinforce why options is so important, okay? Let's take Square. That was one of the first trades we looked at when we brought back the Phoenix letter in December 2018. And if we wanted to buy 200 shares of the stock at $57.15, it would cost us $11,430. And let me just show you that right here, okay? So if we're buying 200 shares of stock at $57.15, it's going to cost us $11,430. You have to remember, the market was dropping thousands of points. The idea of investing $11,000 into a stock at that time was not so appealing. But what if we buy the option? And it's the same thing. 2 contracts represents that same 200 shares, and we're going to hold it for 37 days, which is plenty of time so that if the market rebounds, we're going to get paid. And we're going to go right at that 57 strike, and the cost is $4.60. So instead of needing over $11,000 to do this trade, we need just $920. So it's less than 10% of the risk of a stock trade. But look at this. Remember, Square, very important, where is Square trading? $57.15. Within 2 weeks, Square was trading at $73.94. Okay? We didn't have to. A common fallacy is that you have to hold the option until expiration. With 15 days remaining, those options were worth $17. The stock went from 57 to 74, and the options went up to 17. So they were trading, and it was 15.30 by 18.25. So 17, it was even more. It moved pound for pound with the stock. There was no disadvantage to trading the option versus the stock. And you made a 400% return, okay? It got my year off to a good start. That was the power of options. And once I started using options instead of stocks, I realized how many more people could get involved and even how many people I could introduce to their very first options trade. It was really exciting, okay? So you met my team. You understand why we use options. Here's the most important part, the Phoenix formula, which is market, momentum, and reward. And if you can understand this, you got it. You're going forward. You're going to see your P&L jump, profits come. It's all about understanding this formula. It's very simple. And the best way I'm going to teach it to you is by demonstrating it as we applied it to one of the trades in the service, okay? It's market, momentum, and reward. So step one is we're going to look and we're going to say, what do we think the market's going to do? Is the market strong or weak? Then we're going to identify a stock. It's easiest to find a strong stock in a weak market or a weak stock in a strong market. Again, just look at Shopify as an example. Yesterday, Shopify was up 8 points with the Dow down 400. Now, it had come out that they processed 900 million of the 7.4 billion in U.S. sales on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. That made up 12% of all U.S. online shopping. So it's really good news, but the stock just looked like it wanted to go more. So today, even though it was up 8 yesterday on the news, today in a strong market, it was up 18. It was up double, more than double, because the market went with it. So you identify what the market's doing. You want to identify the momentum of a stock, and then you also want to make sure that the reward can be there. And the reward's very important because you don't want to get in a trade that's not going to pay you. Like if Shopify went up 1 point today, that's not so exciting. You want stocks that are going to move so that you can get paid. So this was at the beginning of this year. There was a day where the Dow was down over 500 points, and we were looking for strong stocks in a weak market. Now, one stock that was up a lot was Celgene. It was up 14 points on the news that Bristol Myers was buying Celgene. So we're not going to trade Celgene because the news is already out. But what happens when you have M&A activity is a lot of the brother and sister stocks can also get momentum because usually if there's one takeover, there could be more takeovers. So we started looking for other opportunities that are called fallout plays from Celgene. And one of the trades we identified was Gilead Sciences, trading at 65.91. It was only up 2 for the day. So would it pay us enough to get involved in Gilead? Well, we looked at a chart, and this is what I mean by reward. The stock had been at 80, 85, then 80, then 75, then 85, 80, 75, 65. So when we got involved at 65, we're like, okay, if we're right, we're going to either go to 70 or 75. We're going to get paid, right? So the reward is there. We found a strong stock in a weak market. We saw that the reward was there. Now we're going to have to trade it the best possible way. Well, if we want to buy 300 shares of Gilead at $65.93, it would cost $19,779. But if we want to buy 3 contracts, which represents that 300 shares, and have the right to own them for 29 days, it's going to cost us $2.40 times 300 is $720. Okay? So instead of risking $20,000, we could do the same trade for just $700. Gil was a quick 19% winner, and instantly we started getting feedback. Because that was one of the other things. I've been doing this a long time, and although making money is important, I got to tell you, love of the game and hearing from my members and their success is more rewarding to me than anything. So one of the things we put at the reminder on every alert we send out is let us know how you did. And so once we put this trade out, we started getting feedback right away. Thanks for another great trade. This makes 3 out of 3. Keep raining green to my account. This is a great service. I paid for an entire year with existing profits and made more on top. Thanks, Thomas. This is my first trade. I made 60% profit. Looking forward to the next trade. I signed up for your 1-month trial. Just 2 trades. I've closed out 21%, 40%. And so we started getting really good feedback. And the best part is we keep track of every trade in what's called a trade portfolio manager. So at any time, you can log in and you could see the date we made a trade, the action, whether we're buying, selling, whether it's a call or put, the underlying stock, the amount we're trading, the date, the strike, and the cost. So when we bought Square at $1.43, you could see we sold 3 at $2.39, 1 at $2.20, and we made $365. Listen, if you trade more contracts and you know what you're doing, the ideas are still there. They're great. We do everything for small amounts of money, just a couple $100, because we want to cater to everybody, okay? So $365, sure, it's not a big deal, but $365 and $560 is like a 70%, 75% win. So if you were trading $10,000, you would have made $7,500, you know? So the best way to do it is to start small and get proof of concept. Let me show you another example of the formula in action. This is one of my favorite ones. This is Papa John's Pizza. So in the dark blue over here, you can see Papa John's. In the light blue, you see the Dow, and in purple, you see the NASDAQ. So at this point, you see the markets are all going up. Papa John's is weak in a strong market. So the same way we love a strong stock in a weak market, we like to trade a weak stock, bearish, in a strong market. And there was a story behind this too. At this point in time, fundamentally, Papa John's had just come out and said that they were going to invest $80 million in a royalty relief marketing campaign and brand initiative. Now, this type of investment is done to limit store closures and improve underpenetrated markets. They're literally keeping their franchises in business. So the same way the government is subsidizing those most impacted by the trade war, Papa John's is helping their franchises stay afloat. The only difference is that Papa John's doesn't have the reserves and the buying power that the government does. It was a desperate plan, and that's why the Phoenix bought puts in Papa John's. Now, here's what we did. We bought the 47.50 puts, and this is what an alert looks like in the Phoenix letter. Hello, Phoenix members. We say we have a bearish trade in Papa John's, which is breaking down below support and can make a run to low 40s. We give the instructions. Buy to open 4 of the July 19th, 47.50 put for a net debit of around 160. Okay? So the total risk on this trade was $640. The minimum amount you needed to do this trade was just $160. Pretty cool, right? So that's the minimum you needed to do it was just $160. The bad fundamental news combined with the technical breakdown caused the stock to fall over $2 the next day, and we closed out some of our puts with well over 100% gain. And here's the instructions. We always give buy and sell instructions. Sell to close one of the July 19th 47.50 puts for a net credit of around $330. Okay? Pretty cool. In for $1.60, out for $330. Then it kept going, and we sold the remaining ones for $5. And that was a phenomenal trade, and we keep track of everything in here. So you could have got involved for just $1.60, and the final options were sold at $5. And any trade we've ever made, you could get all the details in our trade portfolio manager. Now, listen, I'm going to keep showing you the same formula a couple more times right now, and it's not like it's for no other reason than being consistent. It might not be the exciting thing, you know. Sure, I could try to teach you 10 different option strategies right now, but if you had a button where you could just get profits every week, wouldn't you just keep hitting that button? Sure, maybe you try to build on top of that, but the first thing you're going to do is hit that button a bunch of times and make some money, right? So this is a simple, boring, consistent formula, but it just works. So we just hit the button every week. Let me give you another example. This was in Activision. Activision, here. The markets were going stagnant. Activision was outperforming the markets. And so we came in and we bought, we initially bought them, and then we sold 2 for $3.95. And what did we bought them for? We bought them for $2.51. So again, it was a huge win just finding a strong stock in a weak market, and you see the detailed explanation in the quote. Okay? So here, we put on the ATVI calls for $2.51, and our target exit was hit at $4. It's currently trading at $4.25. We're out with over 70% profit. And then we updated AT&T. Okay? AT&T is such a boring stock, but there was enough of a move, if you've been watching it lately, where you're going to get paid if you're right. So we got in at $1.52. We sold some at $1.87, and we ended up selling the rest at much higher for $4.40. Okay, so look at that. AT&T, thought of it as such a boring stock. We got it in at $1.52 and out at $4.40 on the options. It was again just a strong stock in a weak market. We made over 300%. Same formula. Here it is again. Take-Two Technologies right over here. It's breaking out of the market. As soon as we identify that pattern, we're trading, and we made 37% in Take-Two Technologies. So market, momentum, reward, market, momentum, reward. That is the formula, okay? Since we brought back the Phoenix letter, it always had a winning track record the initial time around, but since we brought back the Phoenix letter, this is how it's done. Hasn't had a losing month. It's up for the whole year. This is the equity curve. It's been everything that we could ask for and more. And more importantly, individuals are making their first trades. You know, Alex said new to the Phoenix, just did the ATVI trade for a good first trade in at 241 out of 395, 64% or $616. Excellent, good job, and thanks. Chuck, that's the fastest 350 I've made in a long time. Vince, I got out at 440, so I made 200 for the day. Still a great result. And you see, the thing is, Alex, Chuck, Vince, they all made different amounts of money. And that's what I expect to happen with all of you. You as individuals are going to come in. Someone's going to trade one contract. Someone else is going to trade two. Someone else is going to trade four. And I heard people today on some of my calls were trading 60 and 70. But it's all about starting small, getting proof of concept, and then growing it from there. And that's what I want for all of you, okay? The best part is I took this from being a high-end service to making it the core introduction for beginner and intermediate traders to get proof of concept of who we are and what we're about. Because once I started delivering winning experiences at an amazing deal, people just loved it, okay? And that's why I was so excited to introduce this to the TradeThirsty audience in a special way. And this is what I mean by a special way. This is how you could take advantage of the Phoenix letter now. Because rather than just talk about it, now that you have the history and the formula and you see what you do, I just want to give you trades every week that you can profit from. So you can get access to our Phoenix picks. We'll be using calls or puts to take advantage of unique market opportunities. We're never going to go naked, so we're never going to be willing to take ownership of stock. It's just buying calls or puts. We send alerts via email and text on any position update from entry to exit. Market analysis, we will explain the why behind every trade so you understand the strategy being employed. This includes a macro market breakdown, that's what I do with Christian, and fundamental analysis. That's how we explain what was going on with Papa John's of the individual companies so you can get access to elite research. We have exclusive training events. Every month you get invited to come on and listen to different training events we do. Every Monday you get the Options Academy for free. Just so that we can help you become better traders. If you can't make these things live, they're recorded. And we have the best support in the business. It's a team of people right here in my office in New York. All have worked with me. The least experienced person has worked with me for 3 years now. The most experienced have worked with me for 14, so they know what they're doing. And we believe firmly in that age-old adage that the customer is always right. You know, nowadays, if you ever try to go through an airport security line, you don't feel like the customer that just bought a plane ticket. You feel like a prisoner, right? With us, it's back to you being the customer. And we want to hold your hand and make sure you have an amazing experience. So I spent some time emphasizing it because it's really important to us. Now, for the best part, how do you get access, right? It had a great year. We haven't had a losing month. All these winning trades. Everyone's so happy. How much is this going to cost? That's the next question. This is the best part. So normally to get into the AMTG brand, it costs $29.95, right? But we wanted to make this an introductory offer, so we went to the best price we ever offered before this for a year, which was $19.95. But then we experimented and we're like, what if we lowered it a little? Could we get more people in? And we did. And then we're like, let's keep it under 1,000. And that was really popular. Then we're like, let's go crazy. And then we just said, you know what? This service is so good. People love us so much. Let's just give it to everybody. So to get access to the Phoenix, it's $397 for 6 months at adammesh.com/Thursday. You've never seen a promotion like this. A newbie trader with under a $1,000 account and just that Papa John's trade could have turned $160 into $350 overnight, while a more experienced trader could have turned $1,600 into $3,500. And you can make these trades often using under $300 in buying power. And when you're ready to go bigger, the sky's the limit. So it's perfect for beginners and those that just want amazing ideas hand delivered every week. This is a strategy where you're either buying a call because you think the stock will go up, or a put because you think the stock will go down. It's as basic options as you can get, but powering the Phoenix letter is a time-tested strategy that has created lifetimes of success for you, the individual traders. So first, we identify the current trajectory of the market. Next, we highlight a sector that is showing outlier strength or unmistakable weakness. Finally, we target the stock within that sector that offers the greatest reward, and then you are trading. Each and every week, we repeat the same steps to find that one great idea, and that's my number one choice of strategy to introduce you to right now. When TradeThirsty invited me out to speak, they said, give us your best. This is my best, and that's what you get to experience every week with this insane promotion. $397 for 6 months. What happens at the end of 6 months? Your price is locked in at this best ever price ever. It never goes up. It's never more than $397 for 6 months. I've been in business for almost 14 years. I've never been known as a discount firm. Rather, we're a boutique. We offer a high-end experience for individual traders who are willing to pay thousands of dollars to work with the best of the best to get real ideas in real time every week. So how did we just go from thousands to under 1,000, $397? How do we make this the best ever? By doing this, okay? This is what we do. And I think you're going to love it, but it's going to get better for the first 50 people to respond right now at adammesh.com/Thursday. And you might want to do that right now because the first 50 people in the door, everyone who signs up at this link gets this, $397. You lock in that price forever. You get our trades every week. But the first 50 people to respond right now are going to get a $1,200 gift. And that's access to our weekly lightning round. Each and every week on Tuesdays at 1 p.m., and if you can't make it, again, it's recorded, but if you can make it, you can show up and chat in questions. Each and every week, we watch as members write in with stocks, and one by one, we assess both upside opportunity and downside risk. We don't know if you're bullish or bearish, so you get our instant analysis without any bias, which is pretty cool. You can listen to a recording anytime, as I said, or you could just join us live, and then you can participate. This is normally $1,200 a year. It's yours free through this exclusive opportunity. And we begin every Tuesday call with a breakdown of the entire markets, which is really cool. It's really cool. So regardless of what's happening in the stock market or the world, the most essential aspect of your trading will be stock selection. Stock selection will be the difference between being part of stocks that skyrockets new highs and leaving behind the laggards that will never see the sun again. Okay? Unlike past newsletters or recommendations that you've received, we don't just tell you to buy a stock and then forget about you with the audacity that we can't be wrong. We accept that not every stock we recommend will do what we expect, and we provide a contingency plan. So we'll not only recommend what's going to be great, but we'll provide you with an exit on the upside and the downside. That way you can lower your exposure and still benefit from all the upside that the Phoenix will provide you with. Okay? So the first 50 people to respond, you also get access to our Tuesday lightning round. Everyone gets access to the Options Academy. And it's at adammesh.com/Thirsty. And the orders are already coming in. So those 50 spots we know will go quickly, which is cool. And I'm going to, as I keep doing it, it's just going to be the gift that keeps on giving. I'm going to make it even a little bit better for you because I'm going to give the first 50 people something else free right now, including the people who just came in. Don't worry, you got it too. Okay? So it's at adammesh.com/Thursday. I'm going to give you one more thing. I really went over the top for the TradeThirsty people, which I think is really cool. And I see you're ordering, which is great. So just know that everyone's getting this, even if your order came in already. One more thing. When I was on Fox with Maria DeBartolomeo, they had me on to talk about Bitcoin when it's trading at 17,000. And they said, what do you think? Would you recommend this to your customers? And I said, absolutely not. And she said, well, what would you tell them? I said, I tell them that they missed it. And I realized, though, that there was a need for something else. There was a void. People wanted that upside opportunity. I didn't believe in Bitcoin. I was pretty clear. I also was pretty heavy in that picture. Anyhow, I decided to give them a better opportunity, and I sat around with some of the best financial minds I know, and I posed the question. This was over a year ago. I said, 5 years from now, what will we look back on as having been a better investment, crypto or weed? And the unanimous answer was weed. And because of that, I started the Marijuana Investing Report. I hired a team of writers to provide up-to-the-minute information on the cannabis sector every week. So the marijuana investing report informs you about the different facets of the cannabis sector, about the under-the-radar marijuana stocks that could become high flyers. We tell you about ones to avoid, ones that could be good, and we sell that for the year for hundreds of dollars, but this also is yours free. If you're one of the first 50 people to respond, you get the marijuana investing report for free. The best part about that is even if you cancel the Phoenix letter and you never pay us the $397 6 months from now, because your next payment isn't until when you sign up now for $397, your price of $397 goes up, never goes up, and your next payment isn't until mid-June 2020. But let's say you cancel then. You're like, I don't want to do it. Just because of a glitch in our system that we just chose not to fix, you get this forever. You still keep this forever and you never pay for it. That's just how it was set up. So once you get this, you'll get it every week forever. So if you have any interest in that, that's pretty cool. All at adammesh.com/thirsty. Join. Got it. Christopher said, give me. Win-loss ratio, we're operating at above 70% win ratio on straight calls and puts. So we're doing a credit spread performance, but on a straight call and put service. Okay? Typically, the amount we're spending, Mike, on these options is so low that we don't use stops. Okay? All right. And just one more thing as people are coming in, which these 50 spots are going to be gone before I finish this, which is cool. Let me just confirm everyone who's in right now real quick, because we might even be at 50. Don't worry. I'll keep teaching you right now and answering questions. These 50 spots are going to go fast, because I guess you guys realize you're getting a good deal. You're getting the Marijuana Insider Report free. You're getting the Lightning Round free. You're locking in our best price ever. And so David's in, Chin's in, John's in, Peter's in, Matt's in, Morris is in, Ira's in, Roy's in, George is in, Ray is in, Alan's in, Mike, John, Kelly, Tony. Yeah, scroll up. MJ, Anthony, Jamie, Peter. Okay, so actually we're only at 24 people are in. So we have 26 spots left. Good, keep going. adammesh.com/thirsty. I want to show you one more thing, which I'm really proud about, and I'm going to answer any question you may have. Don't worry, I'm in no rush. I'm not going anywhere. I love doing this. As you'll find, like literally, I hope it comes across. I really love what I do, so I'm happy to stay here as long as you want and answer any questions you may have. So typically 1 to 2 trades a week. This is a lifestyle service. We've experimented with more, and then we feel that people kind of like get burnt out if you're giving them 3 to 5 trades a week. This is a lifestyle. We want you to be in this game for years with us. So 1 to 2 trades per week keeps you in it, keeps you happy, without feeling overwhelmed at all, which is important to us. At adammesh.com/thirsty. And by the way, my whole team's here. If you have any other questions, any individual questions, personal questions, there's a number on the screen you can call. We're happy to help you. It's 212-774-5983. Again, the number on the screen is 212-774-5983. Let me go over what people are saying, because I think it's important too, and I really want you to see this. Ready? Here's what people are saying right now, and I wanted you to see that. You could click on this to show you. So when I brought back the Phoenix letter, I told you one of the biggest things was I really want to see the experience. So I started asking for feedback on trades. And remember, we just brought it back in 2018. So this is just in less than a year. These are the number of people that have written in by the experience. And it's crazy, but I think this shows you more than anything why it's so cool. And it's adammesh.com/thirsty? Okay. So look at this. Number one, let me show you this. These are how many people wrote in. Okay? How cool is that? Now, when I skip through it, and this is just people taking the time to let me know, like, got it, nailed it, good afternoon, here's how much money I made, green results. But let me show you, let me find a couple cool ones. This was my first Phoenix trade. Wow, I made 60%. That's the kind of thing I want you to experience. Thanks, Adam Crew. Looking forward to the next trade. This was my first Phoenix trade. I got in later than I liked, bought 5. This is Charlie. Bought 5 for $2, sold at $3. Looks like we should have stayed in another hour, but definitely successful. Okay. Please keep these coming. I doubled your recommendation, sold 2 this morning, 805 for a sweet short-term profit on a day. Most of my long-term holdings are in the red. I mean, it's just real. It's a real experience, and I think that's what's so cool. Keep more like coming. I mean, this is just fun. It has been the best of your services. Who cannot enjoy this one? Been delighted with the Phoenix of Scott. Thanks. I mean, look at these real quick. I nailed it. I love dealing with you guys. It's the best service I subscribe to because they're honest people who don't make excuses, and Adam's got a great feel for the market. Look at this one. This is a great one. Thomas A. For what it's worth, I'm up $1,100 since December 28th, 2018. Only one loss, not bad. I'm currently only purchasing minimum contracts. That $1,100 was with one contract at a time. Great, simple service. So literally one contract at a time. It's as low as you can go, and it's only $397 to get started for 6 months. This person traded with 100K is up 22% on a 100K account. That's what I mean. It applies to everyone. Had my doubts, shame on me, 21% profit. It's just so cool and real. So here, Glenn. Just closed my very first trade, ATVI, for 67% profit. Awesome, thank you. This was the first option trade I've ever done. That's who I really want to reach out to here. That's why it's priced at $397, because there's going to be 30 people on this call who are thinking to themselves right now, you know what, this is really cool, but I've never traded options. And what I'm trying to do is empower you to trade options. So look at what Glenn just said. I just closed my very first trade, 67%. This was the first options trade I've ever done. At $397 for 6 months, you're going to be motivated to reach out, open up a Tastyworks account. I'm a brand ambassador for Tastyworks. I'll send you the link, right? You're going to be excited to open. You can open it wherever you want. It doesn't have to be Tastyworks. I'm just a brand ambassador for Tastyworks. $0 for options to close, which is great. But you're going to be motivated to open an account, come on the academy, ask questions, and because you know, okay, I could do this trade for like $200, you're going to make your very first trade. And that's what so many people have done, and that's what this service has become. It's become like a stepping stone for you to move up in the world. So if you're here and you're learning, you've never made that trade, I'm catering to you right now. And if you're experienced, you're just going to get great at trade ideas for a dirt cheap price because it's priced for beginners, but experienced people take care of it too. Chuck, this is the fastest 350 I've made in a long time. So really, really cool stuff, and just something I'm really proud of in terms of what people are saying. And now, any questions you have, I'll ask, and I'll also let you know when those 50 people are filled. Listen, at the end of the day, trading's fun. I used to trade my own money. It wasn't very rewarding other than the money. You know, listen, everyone has their happy places. It's fun to go on vacation and you know, mine's Sea Island, Georgia. That's my happy place. And know that it's being paid for with trading profits. That's always a cool thing. But for me now to be able to like get other people on this and moving forward is really what it's all about. So definitely go to adamesh.com/thirsty, fill up those remaining spots, but also ask any questions you may have. Okay. So let me read. Marion said, do you work on Eastern time or here in Central time zone? So we're on Eastern time zone. Okay. As you can see, I'm in New York. I'm in the heart of New York. So sometimes you could hear sirens in the background because ambulances get stuck trying to go through the avenues. So that's what you hear now. Larry said, why did you stop the Phoenix letter? So I explained it on the presentation. You might have come late, whatever. You'll be able to listen to a replay or whatever. But I'll answer you now. It was our best service from 2009 to like 2015, I think, for 6 years. And then at that point, I thought stocks got too expensive. I didn't want to teach stock trade anymore. I only wanted to do option, and that was a stock service. So even though it was successful and people were paying, we just switched people into other services, or we just let them cancel, whatever it was, because I didn't want to do it anymore. But then the reason I brought it back was because I realized using options, it could be a great stepping stone and the perfect thing. Because at the end of the day, I have other tools at my disposal. I could teach you how to do credit spreads, diagonals. Those are some of my favorite things to teach, but so many people, it's all about trade number one, and the easiest trade to make is that simple, just buying a call or put, define risk, high upside. That's what it's all about. Okay. The most recent trade alert was we closed Beyond Meat last week when it was trading at 85 for a win, and it ended up being good because now Beyond Meat went down. So that was a good alert. So our last one was a winning Beyond Meat trade. And then how long have I been doing this? So we began in 2009. I've been teaching people how to trade since 2006. I've been trading my own money since the 90s. I've been trading for 20 years. So my original thing, I traded my own money. Then we started a firm, and my job was to sit around rows of people and teach them how to trade. So I've been doing this for a really long time. Okay. All good questions, which I appreciate. What other questions? It's all at adammesh.com/Thursday. Yeah. Thursday, not Thursday. Today's Wednesday. What do you got? Jeff. So typically, like I said, it's 1 to 2 trades a week, and it's usually when we see it. So it could be at any time, and you'll get an email or text alert. It's not at a specific time. Michael said, I trade stocks via a UK broker, and that has limitations on U.S. stocks, never traded options, so not sure how effective your service will be. I have also moved to Sofia, which remains a huge time zone difference. Yeah, I mean, so Michael, like what we do for someone like yourself is, you know, can we text in Vietnam? That was Peter? I don't know. I'm not sure, but we send email alerts to anyone. You don't need a special account. You just need an options trading account. So, yeah, for someone that's worried about the time commitments or anything like that, typically these aren't day trades or anything like that. But the best thing I could say for anyone who's in a time zone, if you're concerned, you just sign up, let us know. If you're like, guys, I just can't make work, you call us. We usually do like a prorated refund, which isn't a big deal. Okay? We try not to do that. We like people to be committed for the 6 months, especially at the price we offer. But, you know, let me just see who else has joined since. Let me see how many spots we have left. Here, go down. George, Roy, Ira, Pam, Ronald, Carl, Michael. Sorry, I can't. Wait, where is it? Jess, Martin, Mary, Gregory. Awesome. Okay, so we're in like the 30s, trying to go to the 50s, which would be cool. And it's adammesh.com/Thirsty. adammesh.com/Thirsty. Any other questions you have, I'm happy to answer them. Is there anyone we could call with questions on the positions if we need to? Yeah, you call. Yeah, we have a gentleman by the name of Patrick who's amazing at customer support. He's in charge of the customer experience. Perfect for that. But also right now, if you have any questions, you can call 212-774-5983. So Rodney said, what's the cancellation policy? So listen, if it's something like, you realize you're in a different time zone or something like that, we'll do a prorated refund. For everyone else, usually what we do is if you want to stop, we just give you a credit towards any other service, and then you don't have to pay us again. It's $397 for 6 months. It's not a big deal, and you're probably happy just to get access to all the stuff. Plus, you're getting the marijuana insider report for life, and also you're getting the lightning round as long as you're a member too. Okay. Ann just joined. Did you see? I see Paul. Now Ann, they're coming in. We're going to get to 50. Guys, I'm telling you, the only thing we do, I did learn you have to be good about your events. So I do stop it when we get to 50. And, it's fun when we get there because everyone who's in realizes you just got $1,200 free from the lightning round. And you also got the marijuana insider reporter free for life, no matter what happens. And listen, I thought marijuana was going to be hot. Then I've been telling people to stay away. I don't even like marijuana now, but there will be, just like Bitcoin had a second round, marijuana will get hot again in the future. So to lock in that newsletter subscription now is pretty cool too, because it's something you will use later on. What options broker do I use or recommend? So I'm a brand ambassador for Tastyworks. I'm wearing the hat right now. I love them. It's $1 per contract to open trades, capped at $10 for nomadic. So if you're doing one contract, it'll be one. It'll be one, and it's $0 to close, which is also pretty cool. So the pricing's great. The technology's great. Their app is great on their phone. And then Tom Sosnoff comes on and does a training event for all my members once a month. So if you're a member, you'll get access to a once-a-month training event with Tom Sosnoff, which is also pretty cool. It's very cool. He's a great guest. What is the window we have from the trade comes out until we need to place the trade? Listen, I can't control the market, honestly. My trades are always during the market hours. So sometimes you'll be able to get in at a better price. Sometimes it'll be a little bit worse. Usually we're not trading on stocks that are going crazy in the moment. So a couple hours won't cost you. Sometimes people even get in the next day. As an example, that Beyond Meat trade we did, it moved up a little, then it moved down for like a week, and then it just kept going up until it was nicely profitable, and then we got out for a good profit. So, how the market moves. You can't time the market. But you can time entry to the service, adamesh.com/thirsty, adamesh.com/thirsty, not saying Thursday. And again, remember, Rodney, I got you. No payments until mid-June 2020 when you sign up now. And you get these trade ideas every week. Customers worth, I'm telling you, the lightning round by itself is worth $1,200. To be on that call with us yesterday and say, don't chase this market down, that helps people. It also helps people who are thinking about selling positions. So just having people in your ear, a team behind you, it's a great way to get to know us. And I'm really excited for this opportunity. Are there options on all the trades? Yeah, we're liquid options too, Peter. Not just options, but liquid options, which is important. Okay. Any other questions? adamesh.com/thirsty, or call the number 212-774-5983. Do you guys feel like you got excited about trading? You learned something? I know the strategy is not that complex, market momentum reward, but you don't need to be more deep than that if it makes sense, Someone asked if we have live trading rooms. We do. I don't like to introduce that as an introductory service because I feel like that's for people who know us, because for live trading rooms, you're getting a lot of instant gratification or instant remorse. I mean, we have great ones, but if you want to inquire about that, if you're a more experienced trader, you just have to call the number 212-774-5983. Okay. Thank you, Ira. I'm glad you found it to be valuable. And I'm glad. You guys got a great deal. This is a special offer. This is a great way to get to know people. I'm excited to be doing stuff with TradeThirsty. I think it's a great opportunity for me and you guys. Parminder, I see you're in. That's cool. But Deborah asked, how long do we typically hold a trade? So this Beyond Meat trade, we were just in for 3 weeks. AT&T, we were in for a couple months. PZZA, we sold some for 100% win the next day. Listen, if we're up a lot of money and it makes sense, we'll close it the next day. But it's. I don't think we've made many day trades. We might have made a couple, but I don't think it's been a big deal. Maybe a couple day trades, but almost none. That makes sense, Deborah? Cool. Nice reception from the TradeThirsty gang. Happy to have you here. Excited about the opportunity to bring you into my fold, teach you some great strategies. What you'll get to know about me is this is what I love to do. okay? This is what I love to do, and I hope that passion comes across with whatever we do, and you get to see what we're about and feel comfortable, because trading is first and foremost. I put myself in a position, this is all I do. I either tell people about our services like this, or I trade. That's it. So if you like trading and you want to start growing and doing more things, this is a great way to go. And I think I got it across pretty fast. I always respect people's times. Hasn't even been an hour on the call, so I think that's good. So I'm going to wrap up right now. There's like 16 spots left, 17 spots left to get the two gifts, the $1,200 and the Marijuana Insider. Just go to adammesh.com/thirsty. Why can't I say that? I just keep wanting to say Thursday. adammesh.com/thirsty, or call 212-774-5983 with any questions. And I appreciate you so much. When you issue trades, are they time sensitive? So not very time sensitive, you know. As I said, sometimes you get a better price, sometimes you get a worse price. Yeah. And Michael just came in, so now it's 16 left. So it's not a report. The lightning rounds is literally, we do a call every Tuesday at 1 p.m. You could come on and ask questions, and if you can't make it live, you could just get a recording. So we talk about stocks. So literally the format's the same every time. Is we start with a breakdown of the market. We talk about where could the market go higher, where could it go lower, just kind of like analysis. So yesterday was a great one to have because the market was down 400. So it's a great time to get on a webinar and discuss things, okay? And then I go through different services we have, including the Phoenix, and I talk about the trades we're in. I update all the trades. I answer any questions. And then after that, literally people just fire stocks at us. We look at the chart. And so I don't know if you're long Apple, short Apple, or neutral. You'll ask us about Apple, and we will literally just tell you what our read is on the stock. So yesterday, one of the stocks we talked about was Shopify. We talked about how strong it looked. And this morning in our trading room, we traded, and it was great. But it all starts with being on that call. Okay? Does that make sense? Yeah. So, cool. I hope a bunch of you sign up. I think it will be a great experience. I think you'll really enjoy this, and you'll use us for years to come. It really is about the long game. We like to keep you in the game for a long time. Start small, get proof of concept, grow from there, and looking forward to having tremendous success with you. All right? I hope you enjoy this. What I'm going to do is just because I can't ever leave. I just love this so much. I'm literally going to play music for 2 minutes. Is that all right? Play music for 2 minutes. You can leave if you don't have any questions and you just want to sign up. This is for 2 more minutes to fill up those spots, those remaining spots. There's 16 left now. There's 15 left now. To get the lightning round, the insider call, all this $397, no payments till June 2020. Your price never goes up. But also, if you have any questions you haven't thought of, I just want to answer it while I'm here because that's what I do. Right? Okay. And then I'm going to play a song. Okay. So I just play music and give you 2 minutes to either leave, ask a question, or sign up at adammesh.com/Thursday. Thirsty. adammesh.com/Thirsty. J-Rock, why can't I say that? Thirsty. All right, here we go. All right. So we got some more questions. Anything you advise us to act on now? Nope. Come in fresh. Just wait for the, thanks, Matt. Just wait for the emails and texts and you're good. Okay. What were the final questions, JJ? Oh, Michael? Michael is new? Yeah. Cool. Okay. Adam, for those who are worried about trading from offshore, I moved to and have been selling options from my retirement home in the Philippines. It's been 7 years. Yes, I work at night, but it's worth it. Thanks, Jack. Is there anything you would advise us that? No, just wait for the suggestion.
Just signed up late.
Thanks, Adam. Good webinar. What are your hours for calls? So the Tuesday call is at 1 p.m. The Options Academy calls Mondays at 11 a.m. They're all recorded, though. And then for this, we just send out emails and messages. Will you update the positions when we need it? Always. Yes, Roy. Bo said this service would definitely send out a notice when to get out of the position. Yes, Bo. We will. What is return, including win and loss, and average per trade? I gotta do the math on that. We've had every month's been a winning month. You know, the amount per trade is different, so it varies. We lowered it a little bit just to let more people in. So we started off with a little more risk, and then we tried to keep it a couple $100 risk. I mean, you could go, it's so different for everyone depending on when they signed up and stuff. The person who started from December said he's up $1,000, never trading more than one contract. So I think that's the most accurate. That's the one I would go by. Because small, safe, conservative, and that's great. Okay? Okay. Is there a way we can review the coaching? So, yeah, they'll have access to members site. Yeah, you'll get a welcome email with access to a member site. All right. Is that Ray or Roy? Okay. All right. There you go, Roy. You're in. Cool. Good event. All right. Now we went over an hour. It's not a call unless I go over an hour. AdamX.com/thirsty or call my team. I just love doing this stuff. And so I get a bunch of good people in, and then we'll work with you. How much time do we have when the trade comes in to when we need to place them? Sooner the better, but sometimes people do it the next day. Yeah, you'll be able to see all the past trades. They're all, yeah, you'll be able to see every single trade. Okay? You will, Ann. All right, awesome. You got the link, you got the phone number, you're good. Trade Thursday audience, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you later.